So I perpetrated some astral belligerence against some particular uh, entities, we'll say. I was just on a roll, and then it felt like no coincidence that you know an hour or two later. Oh, the other thing is I did some like sexual working. That was pretty successful, pretty effective, and is helpful for me to kind of. Uh, I'm doing some exploration in that area, research you could even say, and it's going well. So I'm getting towards the goal. So, but especially after I did this working, but I think it was more about the actual belligerence as it were. I felt my chest seize up, and it's like my asthma came back, my undiagnosed asthma. And perhaps it's like anxiety or something. But the thing is, do I feel anxiety and I just can't even sense my own anxiety? It just feels like my body just reacts to things, which also makes me think about psychology and pathology and anxiety and all those things. If it's just a thing of the body, and if I'm situated at some higher plane, some higher plane of mind, or like I'm more mental, so like I've never really conflated these things with the mind, anxiety and stuff, or perhaps I'm dissociated. That would be more, I think, more likely, or more. Of course, this is another thing is people categorize things as good or bad typically, but a lot of times things have good and bad to it. Not just you know I think dissociating for much of my childhood has put me in a scenario where magic is incredibly easy. But then also that I think perhaps that dissociating um, is sort of an expression of my past life experience of magic, because what you learn in magic you keep over lifetimes. Anyways, so I started reaching out, and at first I saw this like uh, blue energy jellyfish thing with a face, and so I smashed it with a new weapon I got today, and then that was over with, and then after that I uh, I didn't feel my asthma go away, right? I didn't feel the asthma alleviate. Yeah, so then I looked again, I saw the jellyfish again, and I was like, I brushed this to the side, it was because it was an image. And what I see behind it, I saw the same short gray type being that I saw with that one Chinnamasta meditation. Now the funny thing about these short grays is they didn't, when I say short grays, they didn't look anything like, little green men, little gray men, that I've seen. The thing is, and I described this before, but it bears describing again, because they almost had like this, they almost remind me of like Ninja Turtles. I'm trying to think how to describe it a little better. They had like a hard exoskeleton, but it wasn't like chitin. It was like they looked like they were made of rock or something almost. And they had these complex plates. Like it wasn't really reptilian like either. It was just very very different. But they had consciousness, so it's not like they're just like a robot, unless they're really the consciousness of something else. They're really holding that anyways, but they did have a very oof. Yeah, their heads look like that of a T-Rex almost, and a little thinner at the mouth. Razor sharp teeth. I'm trying to think what else. They had these tiny. They had these very short, very thick tails. Yeah, they're these armored little spuds, but they look pretty big. They kind of reminded me of a fetus, the way that they like to curl around. They also kind of looked a little bit like a Pokemon or something. The way I see them is a lot like when I've seen reptilians attached to me, but they don't look like reptilians, or they're a very weird type. Anyways, so this thing, the funny thing is the reptilians seem to be as if it felt like they'd put like a tap in me, like, you know, when you siphon gasoline, but they'd put that in me to siphon me psychically. These short gray dinosaur dudes, I feel like other people must have seen them, but they're hard to see. They were hard for me to find. So with them, it felt like they were as if casting spells or launching, you know, a more complex psychic attack. Actually, I kind of had the feeling as if, because I defeated a few reptilians, as if this was a really tough version. But I don't think it was the same small gray dinosaur-looking thing that I saw the previous time. I think it was a new one. So that's interesting. The thing is, none of the things I've seen really fit description. I've seen so many different types of reptilians, and a lot of them that have been like annoying me haven't been like descriptions, but maybe they're like smaller parasitic versions or something. I don't know. Kind of reminds me of with the Covenant, how it seems like they have a different alien for every like type of soldier they have. It reminded me a lot of that. I bet that's kind of more or less a real thing. Anyways, so I attacked. So yeah, I hit the small gray, and then my asthma cleared up quite a bit. It's coming back now, so I think I have to get back at it. But yeah, very interesting. I think it's really important to record these scenarios for myself. I mean, I think this is venturing into the area where people would definitely accuse the whole thing of being like, you know, quote unquote woo woo. But you know, I mean, if I see something on the astral plane like this, and you know, I do astral combat with it, and then my health improves, then seems real to me. I don't know. So, anyways, I just wanted to make a little bit of a correction. It wasn't the new weapon I received today that I was actually told not to use that with them, and so I used a different weapon instead. I used a much older weapon I've been using for a long time. So I just wanted to make note of that for my own purposes. Thank you.